Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Alex. I'm making a video today to show you about Sway, walk you through what it looks like, and explain to you kind of how to use it. Just an introductory video. I'm hopefully going to go over as much as I can about what this app does and how it looks. So I've got a couple of tabs already open, but what we're going to do is we're going to use Sway on the online platform. I know that on iOS there's an app available for Sway. There's also, I believe, I don't know if there is a desktop version of Sway, but I know that there are a lot of other versions. However, we're going to be using Sway, the online version. So what I want you to do is go to your internet browser, open up a new tab, and log into your Office 365 account. When you log into your Office 365 account, this should be your landing page where you've got all your apps on the top here, and you also have your waffle up in the upper left-hand corner, which you can get to Sway here as well from. Sway is the, I guess, sort of turquoise or green, but I don't know, that's more of green. Excel is more green. I'd say it's more turquoise or light blue, blue-green, something like that. Anyways, Sway has an S on it. We're going to open this up and talk through what Sway is. The way that I describe Sway to everybody when I have a class is that Sway is kind of like the mix between a website and a presentation tool. It's a scrolling presentation. So when you make one, what it looks like is just a presentation that you can kind of scroll through. So let me just go ahead and open one up here. When you open up Sway, this is the landing page that you're going to come to. You still have your waffles up in the upper left-hand corner. You can always hit Sway to go back to the home page. This says welcome to Sway. You've got some other buttons at the top here. What I want to do just to show you what one looks like is I'm just going to open one up here. Let's go to Habitats, Get Inspired by Lessons in Sway. So I'm going to open one up so you can see why I call it a mixture between a website and a presentation. Okay, so here's the Sway. It's actually embedded on this website right here. It's Habitats. You see that I just scroll through. There's the information. It's kind of just like a website, right? But what they did is they put videos in here. They've put pictures you see. There's lots of text. You've got this background of this lovely cherry and cupcake doodad thing going on. I don't know what that says about Habitats necessarily, but you know, you're getting the idea. We're scrolling through this presentation. What's also cool, you see that this is embedded on another website right now. Down here at the bottom, I can click on this and look at the actual parts of the Sway as well. So if I wanted to go to the Arctic habitat, I can do that. Jump right to different sections of the presentation. That's what a Sway looks like. Now I'm going to close this tab down because every time we open something up online in the 365 environment, it likes to add a new tab. So I'm going to get rid of that and go back to my landing page for Sways. So there you go. That's what Sways look like. They can scroll up and down. Also, they can also scroll side to side, and you can make it a traditional slide-based presentation as well. So let's talk about your landing page real quick. Like I said, your waffle is here. You can go to the home page anytime you're on the Sway site here. You can create a new presentation here. You can also create one here if you'd like to. There is a tutorials button. If you click on the tutorials button, it brings you to this website, which is really great. I'll make sure that that's in our Canvas class. Make sure that we've got that there. Also, you've got your jelly beans up here in the upper right-hand corner. You can create a new one there too. You can look at your account. You can sign out of your account or get help any way you want to. All right, so create new. We have this button here to start from a blank Sway. Also, if you have a Word document, a PowerPoint, or a PDF, you can start from a document and it will populate that document into a Sway. It's pretty cool. Okay, let's go down here. My Sways, these are ones that I have worked with already. Okay, I've got edited ones here. If I go to ones that I have viewed, look at that. I just barely went to desertification, and it took me to that. It took me to that site right there. So it sees that I have already looked at that. Shows, as you can see, it timestamps it too. When it was last viewed. There you go. Analytics. So if you want to look at your analytics of how many people have seen some of your presentations, my Sloth Unicorns one, I've had 4 views apparently. There you go. I've also got deleted ones. No, don't have any in the deleted bin. Okay, so there you go. You can also change the dates over here if you want to see what it looks like by title or by date. Okay, I've got it by date edited right now. You also have templates underneath your sways. So if you wanted to scroll through those, maybe you want to make one that's like a do-it-yourself project or a newsletter if you're interested in your classroom or something like that. If you have a presentation, you can use any of these templates and it will make it so that you can just drag and drop whatever it is you want to. You have a resume. I got an older kid at home right now. They could put their resume into a sway and then also have it on their website. So it'd be pretty cool. And then lessons to get inspired, like I showed you earlier. These ones right here are all lessons you can look at if you want to check one out and see what they look like. Different ones, what they look like. So let's go ahead and create a new one. I'm just going to have you create one. If you want to try to start from a document, go ahead and do that. What I will tell you about starting from a document is it will place the items that are in your document into whatever order it feels like they should be showing up in your presentation. So go ahead and try it out, experiment a little bit with it. I'm going to hit create new, and this is where it will take you. This is our layout for making the sway right now. There's two different layouts. So this is your storyline, and the way that I explain this to most of the people that take sway classes, this is kind of where you code. It's almost like you have to code your presentation. So you make little blocks of information, and then when you go to design, it will actually show up. So if I make this my title here, title of incredulity, I guess, something like that. Okay, so then I'm going to hit design. Oh my goodness, look at that. The text shows up. Now it's not in the box. That's just what it shows up as. So I've put text in there. I can also emphasize that text, or I can make it so that it's accented, or just basically, italicized. And if you have a link to something, you can put your link in right there. You can hyperlink the text. Okay. If you want to look at your details, this is the your details. You've got a text card there. That's what the text shows up as. They call them cards. You can also add logos and backgrounds if you want to under the details. But to make it easier, if I click background, just all I have to do, I clicked on the background area and it brings up on the right hand side this searching area. So if I wanted to search in any of these places, I could just go ahead and click on title of incredulity, and it would do a search of Bing, YouTube, or Wikipedia and bring up all sorts of stuff. Also, there are the popular areas that people search to, like science, nature, food. If I have content already on my device, I can use this right here, this button, to look on my device. If I want to use OneDrive, I can log into OneDrive and use OneDrive there. I'm just going to hit title of incredulity because incredulity? I don't even know how to say that. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of images. Apparently, various religious images. So let's type in this word here. Oh my goodness. This must be, there must be something that I've got going on. Incredulous. Let's look that up. There we go. How about an image? Let's just go ahead and drag that over. So when you find an image over here, all you have to do is drag it over and drop it in. Now if I hit design again, remember this is going to take me to show exactly what it looks like in the presentation. This is what my presentation is going to look like now. Okay, the storyline is not what it actually looks like. Like I said, we're kind of coding it. Okay, I've got images. I can do all images and videos together, or I can just look at images, or I could look at videos as well. If I wanted to drag other pictures underneath there, I can drag them over and drop them. It will automatically make a new card. See how this card up here at the top is there? Now it's automatically made a new card. I can get rid of that by undoing it too. If I want to, I can use this plus button to make more cards too. So if I wanted to add another image to that, I can drag this over and I can put some words to it also. Incredulous. Oops. Incredulous. Perfect. Again, we can do things like emphasize the text, accent it. We can also add bullets. We can use focus points too. Focus points basically are if you want to have it looking at something specific, then you would have to have it be focused on that one part in the image. So you can choose, if you look down below, this is what it will show up like. So if I click on the face right there, I can make it so that it's a little bit bigger. There you go. There you go. So you see how I've kind of put, I want this to be focused on. That's what it's going to show up like. Alright, so if I go to design now, look at that. Design, it's showing the picture where I wanted it to focus on. And then if I want to add more, so I lost my little area over there. If I want to add more, I can always add other things like another heading. I can add more text, a text card. I can add an image card. I can add a stack of things. So if I want to put all sorts of, I'll put a stack in just for fun. Let's make a stack here. Oops. I meant to put that in the stack itself. Maybe I have to add there it is, image. Add content image. Oop. I think I just have to drag it. There we go. Image card. And I can add more. There you go. They have to be images, not videos. Sorry about that. So if I drag that in, you see that when I drag the images in also, notice that, do you see where the bold green line is? That's where the image is going to land. So now that it's in between the man with the mustache and the little girl looking incredulous, that image is going to show up there after I drop it in. Okay, so then I've got a stack. If I go back to design again, look, here's my stack right here. I click on it, and look, it will actually stack all those photos, and every time I click, it will change the photo. Alright, so I've put a stack in. I've also, when I dragged that video up here at the top of learning English words, it automatically put that in. I didn't want that in there, so what if I have to delete something? Well, you might have figured it out already, but when I tap on that video card there, take a look at the top. I've got details, emphasize, accent, bullets, more numbered bullets, my link, or the way to link things to it. I also can show how big it is, and if I hit this delete button here, right here, it's going to delete that. Okay? So there's how you drag and drop. If I want to find other things, I can always change my search up and search however I'd like to by using this up here. So I'm going to type in amazing sloth. That's what I want to type in because sloths are all fantastic and I always use them as an example. Then I can drag and drop over here to the side if I'd like to. Now, one thing I should note is if I put the sloth underneath the bottom picture, see how the green line is on there, and it's surrounded by that bold border, that is going to show up in the stack still. But if I drag it down below and the bold line is underneath that border, it's going to show up as a new card by itself. Let me jump to the design side so you can see what that looks like. Title of incredulity. Here's my picture that we made underneath there too with text. Here's my stack, and also here is the sloth by itself because I made it outside of the stack, the grouping of the stack. So the sloth can show up by itself. I can also make it larger by clicking on that larger button. Whoa! See how big I made that right there. There you go. Lovely. And I can choose to make any of these larger or smaller. If I want to make this one a lot bigger, whoop, make it a lot larger, hit click on the design again, there you go. Now it's larger. I've also got my stack larger too. It will automatically put things in how it wants to as well. You don't really have a ton of say over how you want your sways to end up, just so you know. Alright, so when I hit the plus button, I've got options. Suggested, I also have text here, so I can add different kinds of text. I can use images. I can also embed, or I can put audio in there. Let me just show you an embedding. So I'll put an embed card in. I've got a video here that's pulled up. All I have to do in YouTube is click on the share button, and then I come over here to embed. and I copy this down, and then I will copy the link. Whoop, link is copied, and then I come back over here to my Sway, and I put that code in right there. I will paste that code in, and it'll automatically show up with that embedded into the presentation. Then I can hit play on it and listen to it. So we've talked about a couple of different things here, how to add cards to them. I can also upload, by the way, from media if I want to. So if you have something on your device, you can upload any of those. How to make groups too. Let's talk about that real quick. I've got automatic grouping, so it will put pictures or text or media all together in a group. I can do it as a grid if I want to. I could also make it a comparison, which has a little slider there, or I can make a stack or a slideshow of anything I want. So if I want to do a comparison, let's do two images, one right here, and let's use this other one right here, and I wanted to show those. Go down here, check it out. Scrolling down, I made my comparison. There it is right there. There's the grouping. That's what a comparison looks like. Okay? So have fun with this. Have a lot of fun. Adding lots of different types of groups in. You can change the group type if you want to. You can also ungroup the things if you'd like. However you want it to end up, you have a lot of say, but you don't really have a lot of say where it will end up on the presentation is one of the big problems that people have had with this. All right, so there you go. That's the interface right there. If I hit this play button up here in the upper right hand corner, it will play the whole presentation just like it's going to look for everybody. See how things are popping up here? Whoop! Okay, that's kind of what happens. Also, my stack is right there. Then I go down here and I've got my comparison and also my video. I can play that directly. Perfect. It's all looking wonderful. When I'm finished, go back to the edit button. I can also use the share button here to share the presentation out by using a link if I'd like to. I can also embed this into a website like I said before. I can choose who I want to share it with. Or there's other options here. Let's see, require a password to log in to see it. You can do that too. There you go. We also have the three dots over the jelly beans, they call them here. You can duplicate the Sway. There's a lot of options over here. Settings for the Sway, accessibility checker. All those things are great. One other big thing I will say is if I click the design button here, we need to talk about styles. Okay, over here on the right-hand side, I've got an undo and a redo first off, but if I click on styles, I can choose to change how this presentation looks. So right now, it's a scrolling presentation up and down. If I want to make it horizontal though, I can scroll through it sideways. We'll automatically put it into sideways, and then I've got the slide option. So there's the first slide, second slide, just like a typical presentation. You can put all these slides, it'll automatically put them all into their own slide. Okay. Another thing, we can customize with colors and your text and everything. Also, if I choose a different layout, these are pre-designated layouts. So if I choose that one, it will put different backgrounds in there. See how that did that? If I choose this darker one, let's try that out. Look at what it does to the text too, all of it in the backgrounds, changes it all up. I like how it changes the text up. So there you go. That's what that looks like. Another fun thing to do if you don't like the way it looks, this remix button right here is pretty fun. If I tap on that remix button, watch what happens to the presentation, and there you go, it just changes it up for you. Oh, look, it even changed it to slides, just remixed it. Oh, changed it to horizontal. There's my text. Look at that. I like the remix. It can kind of just change up what the presentation looks like. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Sway, in a nutshell, kind of over quickly, but there's still a lot you can learn from this, a lot you can do with this. Don't forget this button down here. You can choose to go between different parts of your presentation. So it's kind of like a chapter book. You can choose which part to go to in the presentation. So this has been Sway. I'm Alex, and I'm hoping that you're going to enjoy using Sway in your classroom.